I'm going to now put the spotlight on a startup called Mobikon, which wants to make restaurants smarter. It is in the business of analytics, data analytics for restaurants, and it's completed a Series C fundraising initiative. And guess who one of the investors is? It's the co-founder of Flipkart, Binny Bansal, who's of course relocated to Singapore. I'm going to be now joined by the founder of Mobikon, Samir, who's joining us here on Skype. Samir, congratulations on the fundraise. The buzz is that Binny Bansal has put in about $12.5 million into your firm. How did you pitch to Binny? How did this happen? And should I do a 1 + 1 = 3? You are in 5 countries. Now that you have Binny on board, you have dreams for Singapore?
Yeah, thanks. So I think the way we met Binny was being in this vertical, we wanted to always build something which is equally large, and with the vision, and of course with what we all have learned through what Flipkart have gone through and the way the companies are built. It was always I was looking for a backer or an investor slash more from an entrepreneur who has done something, and I think none other than Binny. And when we got introduced and shared our vision of what we are trying to do and how we're trying to change the entire ecosystem around F&B, I think that's where we both got equally excited. And I think we had series of meetings, and finally it came through where we are today. And I think we are very proud to get Binny on the board, and he's equally excited that we're trying to now transform and change something in the similar way that they built and change the way e-commerce works.
So tell me something. Of course, Binny understands e-commerce like nobody else. Look at it's one of the exits that I'm sure is being discussed in business schools around the world. $16 billion sell out to Walmart. But having said that, I want to ask you something. You didn't want to wait till Binny Bansal completed and set up the venture capital fund. So much is being talked about, a target fund of $300 to $400 million. You didn't want to wait for that, or you didn't want to reach out to the global funds, the giants, who can literally open doors for you in countries around the world.
Absolutely. So I think this is one of the point of discussions which internally as well as we had with Binny. And I think the outcome of this discussion was that it is not that the doors are closed. I think more doors will now open up as we plan to scale even beyond. And the reason where it's not just the money, I think it's the thought process of how to build and scale companies, which is where Binny's inputs are very, very useful. So he's not just invested. I think Binny has also joined on our board and is started to spend time on how we will take this to make it another unicorn in the making. So I think that's more important than just the money part.
So
Hence the timing was critical.
How far are you from becoming a unicorn? Tell us what the valuations are.
No, I think we're honestly pretty grounded as a company. Valuations are not what we are aiming at. But we won't disclose for now, but you'll definitely see us in the next 3 years in the definite race for the next unicorn that you'll see on the vertical.
So tell me, is Binny the only one who participated in the Series C fundraise? You didn't have existing investors, whether it's a Jungle or a Qualgrow or Lion Rock, participate?
Some of them have participated previously because we had raised a small round just before Binny joined in. And so this round entirely was taken by Binny as well.
Okay, so it's Binny and Binny alone in Series C fundraising for Mobikon. I want to now talk to you about Mobikon. The idea, of course, being to marry technology with food. You're in the business of restaurant analytics. So let's talk about, and because our viewers will be interested in that, let's talk about, to name them, your Indian clients. How have you made restaurants in India smarter?
Sure. So we work with some of the leading brands in India. Let me give 1 or 2 examples of companies like Light Bite Foods. Being our customers, they run brands like Punjab Grill and many such brands.
Founded by Amit Burman of the Dabur family.
Correct. Absolutely.
And PVR, I think, is also involved, right?
Correct. And they've been our customer for over 2 years. We have several such brands, local chains like Gajali in Mumbai, which is pretty famous for its seafood. And considered a sort of a traditional business, but has been on our platform for over 2.5+ years now. The way we are transforming is that in this industry, there's been, like you all know, it's a tough industry from execution, very operational. Tech has come in very late. All the tech that has come in the industry has primarily come into the B2C segment, which is onto your ordering, delivery, reservations. We are different from a perspective where we are only a B2B sitting behind the scenes, analyzing their data, analyzing their transactions, the bill values, and we are able to then drive better business to them, giving analytics on how to improve your campaigns, how to improve your offers, how to improve your loyalty. So that's where we are very, very powerful. We've engaged over 27 million unique diners. And this is to give you some idea, we have mapped consumer behavior to an extent of almost 9 to 11% of Mumbai's population. We've mapped over 14% of Manila's population. So that's the kind of stuff which we do behind the scenes, and we're not in the front too much, which is where the data analytics piece is
No, no, but
very,
tell
very
me
critical.
something. You help them decide maybe when it's good time to have a promotion,
Yep,
what kind of discounts to have. You're at the same time mapping diners, 9 to
yes,
11% of Mumbai, the financial
yeah.
capital, or even in Manila. What kind of insights have you found? Can you share that? Because I think those are the anecdotes, the stories our viewers will also be interested in.
Sure. I think there are lots. For example, let us give you a very quick example of early days in a restaurant. We were early company to brand and give restaurants tools like taking customer feedback inside the restaurant. Now, when this tool started up, restaurants were skeptical, but the kind of insights, for example, a restaurant would get a very overall their average rating is very good, but in a particular tables they were getting negative feedback, and the restaurant was not able to understand why are we getting a negative feedback only for two tables inside the entire restaurant, whereas my overall restaurant is rated very well. And as we went deeper into the analytics, we figured out that people are rating low for those two tables because of the ambience. And that led to a further action that figured out that the aircon in that part of the area of the restaurant was not working and functioning well. So, to an extent where it's an operational insights that we were able to bring in, we got the restaurant to improve those to help the customer improve. So, I think those are some of the inside the restaurant analytics that we are talking. If you're talking from a consumer outside behavior patterns, we are able to drive patterns from a perspective of what age group and what gender would like which kind of food. So typically, though on the top view, it's very common that you would say a pizza lover can would like a wine. But again, that further subsets into that a pizza lover would not like a wine if they are of a certain age group or if a certain gender. And which other restaurants will they visit in order for them to be labeled as that if they like pizza or Italian food, they're more likely to have wine. So these are the kind of data and analytics and insights that we bring back to the merchant. And this further helps them to drive not just campaigns, but including your loyalty programs. What kind of loyalty offers should we activate?
So, when you're talking about loyalty programs, we're talking about food and technology at a time when, everybody knows about it. The log out campaign, the fight between restaurants
Yep.
and the majors like Swiggy and Zomato. Look at the information that's coming out today. The Competition Commission of India, for example, looking into aggregators like Make My Trip as well as Oyo. You're not an aggregator. You're dealing with maybe diners to collect information. Your main clients are restaurants. But have you learned anything from these battles?
Yes, I think we've been around for 5 years. We've always been telling the restaurants that you should own your own data, you should own your own insights, and you should drive your own business. And I think it is now getting proven over time that restaurants are taking that into consideration and are really valuing data analytics systems into the whole genre. Earlier, it was very simple. You go and pitch to a restaurant, it would simply say, hey, can you get me more footfalls? And how is they were not least bothered. They were just entering in to get me more footfalls. But now they understand that it's not just the new footfalls, it's the repeat business and the quality of footfalls are also equally more important
Because restaurants
than
shut
just
down
getting
every
footfalls.
day. The point is
Exactly.
restaurants shut down every day. The life cycle, in fact, is getting shorter and shorter and
And
shorter,
shorter.
isn't it?
Absolutely.
So how do you
That's
make
the
money? Is what you charge?
Yes, so we have multiple models. We make money across charging the restaurants to pay us. But as we are expanding into our next genre, our revenue comes from multiple streams. Our analytics piece also is where we make money. We integrate with the entire ecosystem. So we are not just an F&B player. We integrate from the likes of the wallet players to the banks to airlines to everyone. So we make money from all of those partners as well because we help restaurants to expand further into the likes of, if you're using, let's say an example, you're using a credit card of a bank and you must be getting some standard discounts. Where we are now entering is how can we make it more personalized and give an offer that is specific to the way you dine in at different restaurants. So that is where the power of Mobikon comes in because we are sitting inside the restaurant. So that's the game that how we're getting revenues from multiple streams.
Before I let you go now, you have overseas ambitions. You're already in 5 countries, 6,000 restaurants, all of that. I believe you've been experimenting with a new platform for the last 1 quarter, and I'm guessing this is the platform that Binny Bansal also likes. What is this platform all about?
So you want me to tell you all the secrets?
Yeah, why
Uh,
not? Your recipe, your secret ingredient.
So I think our recipe earlier was, like I mentioned in the previous discussion, was limited to only to the restaurant. Where Vinny also got excited is that we have opened up the platform and what we are calling is the F&B ecosystem. Uh, we have seen in the last 4 months, we have partnered with leading banks, wallet players. We've partnered with alcohol brands. We've partnered. So all of these, we were studying into how the analytics and the data. In fact, you asked the question, what you're doing with this insights and the data, is where we were piloting with them whether these data insights have an actionable outcome. And that actionable outcome is either driving more business to the restaurants and is also driving more business to the banks and the wallets and the alcohol companies. So I think this combination is where we are launching the new version and the updated product platform. And this will be at a very, very massive scale. We were already increased our acquisition of restaurants on our platform by almost 3 times every single month. And that's growing even faster. You will see more partnership news and updates from our side. You will also hear a lot of senior folks joining us from multiple industries, including analytics space. So I think there is lots in store, and we hope to be in touch with you guys to give you constant updates on where things are moving.
Yeah, next interview has to be you and Binny together. I'm telling you this right now on live television.
Absolutely.
But what before I let you go, and you may not like me for asking you this, why is your startup, why is your company called Mobikon? It doesn't allude
Yeah.
anything to do with restaurants or food or F&B. It sounds like another wallet. Pardon me for saying it, but I'm being
Sure.
really honest.
Yep. Absolutely. So it's the full form is mobile connection.
Okay.
And the early that's called is Mobikon. It was always an envision of transforming the small and medium businesses using mobile technology.
Okay.
And I think that's how I started this company. And it's for the lack of the name, I'm a product guy, not that creative. So I think it ended up into the name called Mobikon. But the idea was always to connect the consumers with the businesses using mobile technology. I think that's how it started out.
Well, here's wishing you all the very best. You've got Binny Bansal on your board as well. And like I said, next interview, both of you together. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.